most of us, we're a very rural community. Elkton is population 189 people. And then we get invaded by 123 people that don't live here. Okay?
Well,
but the natives, we are like, yeah, we don't want to talk. We don't want to talk to anybody, right?
I would say, though, there's a lot of local people here. I'm local. I'm from about 5 miles that way. You know, that's where I grew up. I grew up here. I'm from Drain. I'm from Drain.
That's
and
14 miles.
Yeah, but I live about 5 miles that way. Okay. So I'm from this area, and a lot of the people that I spoke to are from this area too. I don't think everyone's from everywhere else.
We were all warned many times that Trump's new big beautiful bill would close.
So we have a guy who I would say doesn't support MAGA, but his looking is kind of off, I would say, but it's okay. And we have a woman who supports this rally, this MAGA King rally, and yeah, I guess this guy against it. We didn't catch the dialogue that deeply, but we could understand everything anyway.
Many hospitals and clinics in rural areas because of cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, and that would have significant impacts on the people that live in those rural areas because you have to travel very far to actually get medical care. And that's happening every single week now. The most recent example here is in Wyoming, where there's a cancer center, a cancer care center where patients in that area will go to get oncology and cancer care treatment, and they had already been on thin margins. They weren't making a lot of money. Sometimes they were in the negative. And they were considering closing, but because of Trump's new big beautiful bill and the upcoming cuts to Medicare and Medicaid, their board made the decision to actually close this clinic now. So all these people in that town of Wyoming, in Cody, Wyoming, will now have to find care somewhere else. They might have interruptions to their care. They might have to find new providers completely. They'll have to travel somewhere else, wherever that may be. But it's in.
Yeah, to be honest, I have seen people going to different country just to take some, I don't know, treatment. Let's say you have a teeth problem, yeah, you go to different country to fix them because in United States it's a lot. It costs a lot of money, and even if you take like medical healthcare, yeah, it's so expensive, and it's been expensive in general, but especially last a few years, and this 2026 is outrageous, I would say. Yeah, and I don't know how we should survive this. I mean, yeah, it's just terrible, so let's just keep on watching.
Impacting them. And this is just one example. There have been many examples already across the United States. And the full effect of these Medicare cuts has not even taken effect. They're in the upcoming year. But these hospital industries are realizing and forecasting what's going to come, and they're already closing. So it's already impacting those people in those areas. So it's a very bad series of unfortunate events, and not quite sure what the resolution of this will be. But it's only going to get harder from here, unfortunately, for those people living in those rural areas.
Let me show you what it actually looks like to live below the poverty line. So, as you can see, my house, nothing fancy. The main light does work, but the closet lights, both of them, do not work. And as you can see, this one's like hanging out of the ceiling, so obviously it's not going to work. This house has had electrical issues since we moved in. Obvious soft spots in the floor. Don't step on that. Better be careful when you go outside. You don't want to step straight off of this porch.
So we could see that this young lady, I would say she's pretty young, yeah, about 20, okay, and maybe 23, 22, and I could see in the closet something related to baby stuff, you know. So she has a baby, and somehow she has to survive with all these conditions, with all this stuff, you know. Lights are off, the floor is leaking, etc. So basically, how are we supposed to just, I don't know, to evolve, to bring new people to life with this stuff going on, you know? So basically, I mean, we are just screwed, basically.
We have the back door, which does have this little thingamajig on it because my son's autistic, but this one also opens up to no rails. Be careful. And last but not least, we come back here to the third bedroom. Don't mind the mess, but do mind that these closet lights also don't work.
So especially her son is autistic and she needs extra extra attention, and she needs extra money for that. And I don't know, it's actually a child in need, and it's basically like, you have to watch him always, every single minute, I would say. So I don't know how she's surviving. Strong American lady.
But wait, there's more. There's another one. You would think this one works at least, right? Right? Wrong.
A MAGA-leaning Georgia town is trying to prevent ICE from building a detention facility nearby. This is in a county that Trump won by around 75%. ICE purchased a warehouse in Social Circle, Georgia to create another detention center. They estimate it will hold around 10,000 people, but that's nearly twice as many people as there are actual residents of Social Circle. Now, residents are frustrated due to the lack of infrastructure to support this. A city manager said that their 1967 sewage system is already maxed out, and if ICE goes through with their plans, you'll have to poop on the ground over there. The town's water system is also almost at its limit. Not to mention, the federal government doesn't pay taxes on this property, so the town will lose substantial revenue. Basically, ICE could take over the town's resources and not really pay for it. So residents are fighting back. A city manager refused to turn on the water at the warehouse until ICE came to talk to him. The town's mayor and police chief have also all publicly voiced their opposition, and around town people are canvassing and holding town halls to stop the detention center plans. This is in a heavily MAGA-leaning area, and it's not just in Georgia. ICE has attempted to purchase warehouses in other areas like Virginia and Kansas, but has been stopped by locals. Companies canceled sales to DHS due to public backlash and opposition. In Kansas, the city council even passed a 5-year moratorium on non-municipal detention facilities. No one wants this expansion.
Bobby Cole here.
Yeah, only us rural Americans can stop ICE from, preventing this stuff. I mean, yeah, basically Donald Trump doesn't care about that, so yeah, only ordinary people should go out on streets and stop ICE. I mean, it's not a free country for sure.
With the portrayal and passage of the BBB today, these Republican stuffed shirts and scarecrows don't want you to know this. With the cuts to Medicaid, you will lose your rural hospital. But what a lot of people don't realize, you will also lose your rural ambulance service. And as a former first responder, I know how vital these ambulances are in regards to two medical terms. The golden hour, which means if you're having a heart attack or stroke, you need to receive definitive medical intervention within 1 hour or you will die. In regards to the Platinum 10, once that ambulance reaches your side, you need to be loaded and gone to the hospital within 10 minutes. But now the hospital does not exist, nor does the ambulance. It really doesn't matter. Just remember this, as these Republicans pile $3.3 trillion of debt on your child's head to give billionaires a huge tax break. Just thought you should know.
Trump for what he's been doing, and it seems to be working. He's a good businessman.
So he's been bankrupt like 6 times. I don't know if a good businessman would do that.
What's something that he did that you really liked?
Well, we had peace with most countries. He wasn't bringing us all in these other wars, like with Ukraine. We wouldn't have had any involvement in that war at all.
If it were, but do you think that's because he's kind of close with Putin, or do you think it's because he wouldn't want to?
I think it's because he's more of a neutral president. He doesn't like starting drama with other countries and everything.
We won the war? Are we winning the war?
Yes. Yes.
Which one?
The Iran war.
You're confident about this war?
I'm confident, yes.
Once we win this war with Iran, where is Israel going to have us invade next?
That I can't answer. I don't know that.
So, are you mad at Trump for the high gas prices?
No, it's not Trump's fault.
Whose fault is it then?
He's got to set all this.
But Joe Biden, where's Joe Biden? He said he's not president.
He's not the president.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is.
So how could the gas prices be his fault?
So this grandpa tried to tell that this is fault of Joe Biden, but he's not even a president. So I have a lot of questions. But okay, those MAGA fans doesn't have basically a lot of capability to think. So let's just move on.
If he's not president.
What you don't understand what they're trying to do. They have to wake up the dingleberries that are still asleep.
Specifically, policy-wise, what has spoken to you?
Economically, I mean, I think he's, he says what he says, and he gets it done. And I believe it. And I think maybe he might get a Nobel Prize for it, too.
Well, my friends, our farmers are in full-blown crisis, and it's not because of Mother Nature. It's because of Donald Trump's reckless tariffs that have torched decades of trade relationships and handed America's agriculture future to China and Brazil on a silver platter. 12 1,000 tons of pork canceled. Soybean exports collapsed, and family farms are now shutting down. And it doesn't stop there. Longshoremen, truckers, warehouse workers, entire communities are being gutted. This didn't have to happen, but Trump wanted a trade war. He wanted headlines, and now our farmers are paying the price. While China laughs, it's...
So we can see farming is closing, yeah. Hospitals are closing in rural areas, in general, in any areas. And basically, life becomes harder and harder with each month, each policy, with each, I don't know, with each Trump decision. So basically, we have what we have.
Way to the Brazilian soybean fields. And to make it worse, farmers who sign contracts with their own government, they're being stiffed, left holding the bag. So let me be clear. I will fight like hell to rebuild our rural economy, restore fair trade, and make sure American farmers never again become pawns in a MAGA publicity stunt. This district deserves better. America deserves better.
In the great state of California is being done everywhere else in the country, and why you should be concerned. I had a little bit of time to go drive the countryside of one of our most agricultural rich states, only to be met with these ghosts of former thriving dairies that are now reduced to empty piles of rust, once thriving farmsteads that are now engulfed by subdivisions and the barns are falling down. The gutting of rural America and the gutting of agriculture in America has been by design, and if you think it hasn't been, I regretfully tell you to think again. You see, if you can control who controls the food, then you can control the people. This is all reversible. We are losing more and more farms and ranches every single day. While some have been able to hold on, others have just decided it's not worth it anymore and have sold it and gave up. The more individuals we have owning our food and our land, the safer our food supply for every American. Please share this and let's get the word out. My name is Claire Dunn. Follow me for more and I'll keep explaining agriculture. God bless rural America.
Donald Trump had an interview in 2014 where he explained to Fox News what making America great again looks like.
You know what solves it? When the economy crashes, when the country goes to total hell, and everything is a disaster, then you'll have you'll have riots to go back to where we used to be when we were great. But the fact is that it's not easy on Republicans because you have a lot of people that like their lives right now without working.
That is what making America great again means. And it also comes with media manipulation, as Fox is totally at fault here too. The reporter asked him, hey, Republicans are the party that wants to get rid of social programs. How do we fix this? And what do we do to not be the bad guy? And also kind of implied that Republicans don't use financial assistance and that they only pay into it. Even though Democrats and Republicans both pay into social programs and use social programs, which demonizes the use of social services and somehow makes it a party issue when this is just a class issue. Donald Trump's vision of making America great again is a hellscape with riots and a crashing economy. So I guess this is truly what making America great again means. Let me know how great it is for you guys.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad? I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all.
I guess we can see clearly a MAGA supporter, pure MAGA supporter.
For anyone who voted for Donald Trump, what are you going to tell your child when they come home from school crying because their best friend was just taken out of their classroom by an immigration agent?
I homeschool, so it's a non-issue. But if it's a...
I mean, if we got to that point that even kids could be stolen by ICE, then I don't know, I'm out of here. It's so weird, man.
Up and the child is completely legal in this country, then I would let my child know that will be cleared up. And if they are not, and they will actually be deported, then I would have to tell them that sometimes if we break the law, there are consequences to those actions. And so we have to make sure that we always follow the laws of the country, the state, the city in which we live, because unfortunately there are consequences to breaking the law. And if their mom and dad broke the law, that's going to affect their lives as well. So we have to make sure that we know the laws and we follow the laws. And I think it would be an excellent teaching moment because one day my child, maybe when they're older, they might have someone in their classroom that is actually breaking the law, and just in the same way as they would if they stole something from a store and they would get arrested, it is the same thing because it is the law of the land.
Well, I mean, clearly they want to actually manipulate the election. They want to scare people away from voting. They want to not just be in charge of who's voting, but they also want to be able to count the votes. And the reason they're doing this is because they know that they are losing in the court of public opinion. See how I did that? And, you know, when that happens, most politicians would be like, well, maybe I should actually move into a better position in terms of the policies I'm doing. They can't do that because they've sold a bill of goods to their base of voters that in order for them to actually get closer to where the median voter is, you'd have to go back to that base voter and really piss them off, right? So what does that look like? Right now, ICE is extremely unpopular. Their actions have not just been, you know, anti-immigrant, they've been anti-American, right?
I remember when Trump.
Yeah, basically, I agree with this man on 100%, because I have seen personally, I took down some Hispanic people. Yeah, so basically, it's true. And as we heard previously, ICE could even take kids basically from I don't know, from college, from school, which is outrageous. Absolutely. Imagine your kid having I don't know, an English lesson and ICE go inside and take them down. I don't know, it's just terrific to hear, but I hope this would never happen and it will never happen. So let's just continue.
Was elected, a bunch of Haitian men who lived near me were very excited that he was elected president. They were very happy about it. One went as far as to tell me that anyone who did not vote for Trump was stupid. Okay. Well, this weekend, all we've heard and seen are those same people at the barbershop, or outside of the barbershop, on the street corners, etc., crying and emoting and campaigning and doing all the things. Well,
Yeah, I mean, they got what they voted for. I mean, they took the chance of voting, and now they are basically crying because their business or their life is crashing because of their vote. So this is what they got deserved. Yeah.
excuse me, this is what you voted for.
Yeah.
And votes have consequences. Maybe spend that energy figuring out how you're going to help the people you know who will be sent back.
The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all.
So Cynthia is on the internet crying because she voted for Trump knowing that her father was undocumented and he got deported. Not only did he get deported, but he has stage 4 cancer. And I hate to be the one to kick someone when they're down, but to be on here talking about the American flag stands for liberty, kindness, since when, ma'am? Since when? Because not.
I mean, guys, just imagine that situation. You have your family deported and your family is sick. I mean, the dad, yeah. And it's because you voted for the wrong guy, you know? So basically, she is in some percentage of people who voted for Trump, and her dad is basically dying and got deported by ICE. And yeah, this is basically consequences of Donald Trump, and this is terrible. I don't know, it feels like, I don't know, it feels like you just, I don't know, you want worse things for your family, for your dad, in this case scenario. So basically it's terrible. I don't know.
Not in Black American history has it ever stood for that. Not in recent American history did it ever stand for that. And for the people who are the Latinos for Trump saying that, I didn't know that I was going to get, I didn't. What about the giant mass deportation now signs? What about build the wall? What about Trump's whole first presidency made you think
that this would be okay. And I'm sorry, I have no tears. No tears whatsoever. This is the consequence of your actions.
I mean, yeah, I feel sorry for her, because, I mean, we all people, but why would you vote for this guy if you know he's capable of doing such a thing, such a bad things, you know, so, nah.
And for all those other people who voted for Trump and got exactly what they thought would happen to other people, it's sad, but sometimes you have to learn the lesson the hard way.
You are for Trump, right?
Yeah, Donald Trump.
We are for Trump too.
I'm for Kamala.
Oh, you're for Kamala?
Yeah, for Kamala.
But how come you have Make America Great Again?
What are you talking about? Trump said that communism is going to be the new way of a democracy in America.
No, he didn't say
he said that. He said that.
Everything that he said.
Right, he said that.
If Kamala take power.
Oh, he said that we're going back to communism because that's the way the world should work.
Breaking news, guys.
Did you see her smiling just vanished away in seconds like that? So it was a good one, yeah.
A lot of white Americans are now crying and they are now saying they regret their votes for Donald Trump. Recall that during the campaign, Donald Trump literally said the reason why they should literally vote for him and not vote for Kamala Harris, which is a black woman, is because that she was literally going to start World War III. But it turns out that every single thing that he literally said that Kamala Harris is going to do is what he's literally doing. So a lot of white Americans, the Latinos, the Hispanics, the Haitian, the Mexican American, a lot of them are now crying and they're now saying, we regret our votes. Because right now we cannot afford food, we cannot even afford shelter. And right now, as of today, gas has skyrocketed to $8. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think this is karma catching up on them or this is just the economy playing tricks on them? I want to know and follow for more. Bye.
This cannot be a surprise to you, can it? Trump supporters, Trump voters are regretting their vote. NBC did an interview with a woman who's 63 years old who's the caretaker of her 26-year-old daughter who relies on SNAP benefits. I don't know exactly what the girl's issue is, but she relies on these SNAP benefits just to survive, day-to-day survival. She's the 63-year-old woman sitting back.
Yeah, I mean, guys, the SNAP card is a different story. It's just basically, I don't know, we got our own people killed because we can't provide them with I don't know, with medicine, etc., with bills, with pills. So I mean, it's not our fault. So basically, regret is a huge because every aspect of our lives got cut off, I would say. So basically, we are screwed right now.
I can say, well, why are they doing this with the ballroom? There's $350 million being spent there. And that's supposed to be private donations, which obviously it's not because Trump came out last week and said, well, the military is heavily involved. That's your tax dollars. That's my tax dollars. Don't tell me that's being privately funded when the military's involved. Well, this woman's starting to wonder why in the world these people are donating all this money to this ballroom that only a handful of people are ever going to be able to use when we've got people across the country waiting for their SNAP benefits to be paid out. Now, there's a judge that came out and said you have to pay out these SNAP benefits. Didn't say when it had to be done. He said it had to be done expeditiously. Okay, well, all right, when is expeditious? A week? 3 weeks? I mean, the day before Thanksgiving? How's that going to work out? No one's ever come out and said you have to do it and you have to do it by such and such a time. It has to be done expeditiously. And what's Trump doing? Said he's going to go ahead and do it, but they don't have enough money because it costs $8 to $9 billion a month for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP benefits, EBT cards, whatever it is you want to call it in your state.
By the way, guys, what is the biggest issue right now after voting for Donald Trump? If you voted or if you didn't vote, just what changed for you? I mean, for example, maybe your SNAP benefits cut off, maybe your business is doing terrible right now because of who. So basically, maybe you have something to tell you guys in the comments, so comment down below. We're gonna be watching it all.
Got to be able to come up with the money somewhere. The judge ordered, hey, you came up with the money to pay ICE, you came up with the money to pay the military, come up with the money to pay the SNAP program. And you know what? He hasn't come up with a plan yet. They're all still sitting back there wringing their hands going, well, I wonder when we have to do it, if we have to do it at all. I hope you get your benefits if you're a SNAP recipient, but don't be surprised if you don't.
Why? Do you really hate me that bad? I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all
I guess we can see clearly a MAGA supporter, pure MAGA supporter.
of this. Call the results.
It sucks being hated by so many people. Do you guys know how expensive hamburger meat is now? It's literally almost $8 for 1 pound, and it doesn't matter what kind of hamburger you're getting. It doesn't matter if it's the 75-25, the 85-15 lean. Like, it doesn't matter what kind you get. It's all almost $8, which is insane because my mom used to tell me when I first moved out of the house and was purchasing things on my own, she was like, just always have hamburger because hamburger is so inexpensive. You can pick it up. You can make so much with it. $8 is actually crazy. Like, that adds up so freaking fast. My groceries weren't that expensive. Like, I was adding them up. I'm like, okay, this is fine, this is fine, this is fine. I added my hair.
Yeah, groceries right now is a different topic to discuss, but yeah, they cut by price a lot. Uh, they just, I don't know, cost double more or even triple more compared to like past years, so it's terrible.
And my price skyrocketed. That's freaking crazy. What are we doing? What is this economy that we are all living in right now? It makes me so mad. Like, no one can afford to live. A hamburger is so expensive, and that is supposed to be one of the most easily accessible meat.
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump, please. I'm asking you. Please save me. Please save me, please.
This guy really thinks Donald Trump is like what, Jesus Christ or something. This is just weird. I mean, I would laugh, but it feels so sad and terrible to be left to this guy. So I don't want to do that actually.
There goes Ben, please help me.
I love Donald Trump for closed borders, back to education, not indoctrination. And he's doing a great job. I'm very proud of him.
What's his greatest accomplishment?
Yeah, as you can see, I already told you that a bit elderly people actually are so passionate about supporting Trump. I actually don't know why, but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, this woman is, let's say, around 50, and she's a clear Trump supporter. So,
Thus far,
I'm really into the education.
would you like to see the Bible taught in schools?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Taught in schools, yeah.
Yes, I love Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk actually got me back to church.
And are there books you'd want to see banned in schools?
Yes, yes. And they say book banning, but it's not really book banning. Why are young children learning how to have sex in 5th grade?
Yeah, I read about a book that has 2 daughters getting their dad drunk and then having sex with them. Should that be banned in schools?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
Books where there's like just wipeouts of all like whole groups of people. Get rid of that.
Just get rid of all of that. How about math and reading?
But those things are in the Bible. What I just said.
Yeah.
So you'd like to have the Bible banned in schools?
I don't want the Bible banned.
All those liberals saying that this land belongs to the indigenous people. I have one question for you. Do you know a purebred 100% indigenous person living in the US today? And I mean mixed with nothing. Because you're saying it belongs to the indigenous people, so it needs to be 100% indigenous person. You know that? No, you don't know that. Because this land was conquered, settled, and colonized. So no, that doesn't mean that modern day, and I'm talking modern day, Mexican citizens can break modern day immigration and border laws. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't. Because there's no such thing as 100% indigenous person anymore. There's not. There's not. There's not.
Realize that it's all women who are taking the public backlash and the brunt of
these current regime's like policies? Because this is not a fact that is lost on me. First, we have Pam Bondi, who has been like she testified in front of the in Congress last week. I mean, she lied under oath. Like she will one day go to prison, and she's doing this to protect all of these pedos in Jeff's files, including the Cheeto. And then we have Kristi Noem, who is taking all of like the public heat of the ICE horrific awfulness. Like she's basically the one who's propped up to take all of the blame for this modern day Gestapo. And then we have Caroline Levitt, who is lying through her teeth every day, just has to come out and take the brunt of this administration, this regime's decisions. And they're setting the women up to be the ones who take all the fall for this. They're setting the women up, and they don't even realize it. And like, let me
Yeah, I think just for sake of America, we should get rid of all the current like parts of administration, I would say, and we need new people, not those that have currently. Yeah, and maybe with that, it's gonna be much better in terms of economy, in terms of general stability, and yeah, this is crazy. Also, those Epstein files, this is just crazy. Yeah.
tell you, I have no sympathy for these women.
I just don't understand how people like that, like Jeffrey, etc., could have so much power and do those stuffs for years and not being caught. So
them to go down with everyone else. But it's really ironic that it's all the men who are taking in this regime the back seat and putting all the women up in front, making them take the public brunt of everything. And eventually
feel guilty about not talking to my parents anymore. I ask myself this: why would I expose myself to people who I have to go to therapy, I have to seek self-care and healing in order to be around every time I'm around them, who've never gone to therapy for me, who refuse to go to therapy or do any type of self-help, self-reflection, and development for me? I wouldn't walk across hot coals for someone. So why am I doing that every time I see my parents, emotionally speaking? When they not only will not walk across hot coals for you, they won't even think of the idea to sweep away the coals so you have a clear path to walk through so you don't get hurt. Doesn't even occur to them. Doesn't even occur to them that it hurts you to have to see them. And there are layers of it, because that it doesn't occur to them that it could be hurtful, that their lingering traumas and bullshit that they refuse to work through hurts you, is a hurt in of itself, because it's like you're aware of the neglect and they are not. It's really helped me look at my time, my space, my health as a value. It has a value.
yes, this is just crazy. As we can see, this young girl, I mean, pretty young, says that you should cut off your toxic MAGA parents, which is probably right. But if we think deeply, it's so sad in general. Like you have the precious people in your life, and it's your parents, your kids, etc., and you are fighting against each other just because of the politics. I guess it's not right. I mean, yeah, I understand that we have different opinion, we have different generation opinion, but it's so screwed. It's so screwed up, and I don't know. I'm grateful that my parents are chill about it. They are, I don't know, smart, I would say, but
monetary value if you're talking about the cost of therapy, and it helps to take them off the pedestal, because naturally as kids our parents are on a pedestal, and by thinking of it this way you're taking them and putting them on the plane of everyone else. And when you look at them as just everyone else, they're really old miserable people who will never change, not even to save the relationship with their children.
Like any cult with MAGA, there are different levels of investment. Understanding the inner workings of it is going to be crucial in getting people the fuck out. There are typically 3 levels that I would say. Number 1 is the person who was raised in that type of environment. I'm 23, so I was sort of brought up in that MAGA environment even before MAGA had a name. And there are some people who left, like me. I was around 17 and I was like, this shit is stupid. But there are plenty of people.
I don't understand how she grew up in that environment. Yeah, for example, imagine you go from, I don't know, from school to home and you hear your parents talking about MAGA or something. I don't know. My parents would never mention something like that because we're just living our lives. Why would we mention some kind of politics in our table, let's say? It's so weird.
People who are just MAGA because their family is MAGA, because it's a cultural and social movement. And we can totally convert those people. Number two are the people who are a little bit more intense, who are the people who are like, yeah, I vote for Trump because of my taxes, or some bullshit thing that they say, spew out, oh, my propaganda. But still, their entire identity is tied to being MAGA. All their friends are MAGA. Their church members, every single person they interact with is a MAGA. It's a community. And number three is obviously the diehard Trump supporter, the J6er, the
Lately, MAGA sounds like some kind of disease, but it's just a movement. It's funny to be.
white supremacists. And I would say that tier three are the people that we're going to simply just have to fucking let go. But I think we really need to focus on the first two tiers if we want to get people out and dismantle it, because MAGA is not going to go away when Trump dies. And tier three are like often violent too.
Welcome to MAGA Parenting Tips with the Doms. Today's topic, finances. Because in this house, we don't raise freeloaders or liberals. So the other morning...
Is this real cereal? MAGA Crunch, bro. This is too much.
My kid asked me why we don't do free breakfast like they do at her friend's house. I said because around here, nothing's free but the grace of God, and even that comes with a price. See, we don't believe in government handouts, and my fridge doesn't do welfare. There's no SNAP or WIC in this kitchen. If you want cereal, do a chore. You want pancakes? Show me some effort. If you want bacon, you better start contributing to that household fund. See, last month, my 3-year-old daughter didn't pick up after herself for about 2 weeks. Guess who was pretty hungry by week 3? As it says in Patriotonians 4:2, he who shall not mop, shall not eat. And in this family, if you don't work, you don't waffle. So follow me for more MAGA parenting advice, where blessings are earned, not served.
So I just shared all the photos of what happened when my grandmother's caretaker was arrested and how her house was left after they were arrested and removed. That was basically what my dad did, and stole tens of thousands of dollars. And then her other son stole hundreds of thousands of dollars and left her to where she almost lost her house.
Typical MAGA supporters.
The only thing she had left to her name. Luckily, my sister and I were able to help her out so where she didn't lose her house. However, I was 3 months postpartum, and I ended up having to go back to work full time with the Army National Guard. I was deployed during a COVID mission during all this. So 2021 was absolutely the craziest year of my life. And that's when all of my politics and everything in my life changed and switched.
As a licensed therapist who specializes in trauma and family conflict, let me tell you a lot of what I'm seeing inside my practice. The current administration is dividing families. From Gen X all the way down to Gen Alpha, there are huge rifts for people whose parents or family voted for Trump. Because as many people know, it's not just a political divide. This is an administration who...
Imagine that you have, I don't know, a grandmother or grandfather, and you don't speak with them because they voted for Donald Trump, and you have known them for basically whole your life. Same goes for them, and it's kind of weird and awkward, I would say. I mean, it's a bit screwed, yeah.
Has actively harmed marginalized people, who has actively worked to strip away our rights, who is actively working to bankrupt many Americans and causing federal employees to lose their jobs. There are so many people who are deeply and profoundly affected by this administration that they cannot just sit across the dinner table from their parents anymore.
Yeah, actually, I had similar issue. I mean, mostly elderly people support more Trump than younger people, yeah. And older generation, which is, let's say, my grandparents support him, but my parents doesn't for sure, and they have some conflicts about it. But I don't know what we can do about it. I guess this is just an old generation that thinks like that. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about it.
As therapists, we're the ones getting your family members who are just absolutely devastated and gutted.
So guys, that was it for now. Let me know in the comments if you have MAGA parents, if you're struggling with them, or you have, I don't know, maybe MAGA grandparents or MAGA friends. If you have MAGA friends, it's weird, but it's okay. So let me know your opinion in the comments and see you in the next one.